Hey guys, just gonna make a little video here just to motivate if it's something that you need at all. Now, some of you don't need motivation, which is great, but for my job, what I do on a daily basis, because we live in a world where we have to get paid money to pay bills and rent and buy our own food and stuff, and I'm not codependent on the government. I choose to work, and for my job, I actually help pain seniors that are in a lot of different types of pain, have a lot of different types of diseases, have different types of suffering, and provide a product that helps them try to alleviate that as much as possible. And obviously, we live in a world that everything entropies, everything's basically aging, and time is kind of not on our side in that our bodies fall apart as we get older, and even people that are younger, especially now day and age, and everything's just so comfortable for people where they're just sitting around on their screens, and I'm guilty of that as well. But they're sitting around too much on their screens. They're not really challenged in life as much as they would have been back before screens and cell phones and things like that. So I just want to encourage you to not end up like a lot of my customers who, unfortunately, in retirement, I see a lot where they just sit around too much and their bodies are entropied. They're in a lot of arthritic pains. They have a lot of lower back pains. They have all kinds of different types of diseases, bad circulation, bad skin, all kinds of problems. And I see so many people that are really, really suffering. And I want to encourage you to take up some of the solutions, and really the number one solution to help alleviate some of this future suffering, as most of my viewers I see are in their between 45 and 55 that watch these videos. By the way, thank you for watching these videos. I think I'm shadow banned. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word on YouTube or not, but I have people telling me that they're subscribed and they click the bell or whatever, and they're not even getting my videos in their feed. But I want to encourage you to do a few things here, and the mainly what it ties back to is just being disciplined and making the decision for your life to really just focus on a few things here on a daily, if not daily, every other day. So the first thing would be stretching. One of the rules in Zombieland movie was to limber up as to survive Zombieland. Well, limbering up in everyday life, especially as we age, is super key. And one of the stretches that I really like to do, one of my friends showed me, is this pigeon pose here, because it really helps with that piriformis muscle. There's different ways that you can stretch the piriformis muscle, but it gets locked up and tight in a lot of people that I meet. So doing this pigeon pose along with other stretches and putting together a stretch routine that makes sense for you, and doing that daily, if not every other day, where don't rush it, don't push yourself too hard, kind of find that Goldilocks sweet spot where you just kind of sit there, and as you push yourself a little bit further into that stretch, just try and hold it. And every day that goes by, as you can continue to do this, you'll be able to stretch yourself a little bit more. But I want you to think this is about long term. So if you're for 50 years old, like myself, I'm a little bit older than that, but you're going to want to think about the long term. This is about how are you going to live the rest of your life and limit your suffering as much as possible. So stretching, I would encourage you to put that together immediately and don't quit. Just keep it up, make it part of your daily life. Another thing that I found to be extremely helpful, I've been doing this for almost a year and a half now, is doing these planks. And I do these every other day, and I kind of make a game of it. So I wear headphones and listen to music, and my goal now is to get through not just one song, but two songs where I'm just holding it as long as I can. What I'm noticing about doing planks, not only for my body, but it really helps with the mind. So when things come up on your day to day that are very stressful and push you, doing these planks and pushing your body and trying to hold it as long as possible gives you not only the physical strength, but the mental strength to deal with stress and things that come up in your life. It will make you a stronger person all the way around, implementing these planks into your life. So the stretching, the planks, the walking. Okay, so there is a article here, walking a mile in under 15. Well, it's not really an article, it's straight off of Google. It says walking a mile in under 15 minutes in a brisk pace, about 4.0 miles per hour. Now, I do 4.1 miles per hour on a treadmill, but basically the idea is just to get 1 mile in under 15 minutes. And if you can't do that, that's fine, just build up to it. It acts as a key marker for longevity and cardiovascular health. They actually did research on this. The American Journal of Preventive Medicine shows that fast walking for just 15 minutes a day lowers the risk of premature death by nearly 20%. It acts as an anti-aging. It helps with your longevity. Studies tracked nearly 80,000 adults over 16 years and found that taking fast, brisk walks for as little as 15 continuous minutes daily significantly reduced cardiovascular mortality. It just helps you feel better. It gets you moving. Motion is the lotion, guys. You want to not end up like people that I see day to day to day in my job where they're just suffering because their bodies are in such pain. As much as possible, what you can do to alleviate your future suffering, not only stretch, but do this walking and try to get out your mile in under 15 minutes. All right. It's a good goal for you. And it's actually not that hard. And it feels really good when you kind of get in the zone on there. It's a lot easier to do something like this than to push yourself to go out and jog like the neighborhood or run 2 miles or something. I mean, this should be something that as much as most of us sit around, it doesn't take that much time, and I highly encourage you to do this and implement it, just like the stretching. The third one I'm gonna say would be lifting weights. Now, a lot of people I'll say this to will be like, I'm more into the cardio. Well, yeah, okay, great. But there's so many great benefits to lifting weights. I mean, after all, our muscles are connected to our bones. So if you're lifting weights, you are not only increasing circulation and blood flow and your muscle strength, but your muscles are affecting your bones, and you want to increase your bone strength as well. There's a lot of people that I talk with my job that have constant surgeries, shoulders, knees, back surgeries, all kinds of surgeries related to their bones and muscles. And I think if they just were to get into a routine of stretching, walking, and lifting, they could avoid a lot of the problems. It says here, lifting weights reduces overall mortality risk, body fat, resting blood pressure, and risk of developing chronic conditions like type 2 diabetes and dementia. Dementia scares the hell out of me. I have a family member with it. We just had to put him into the memory care, and it's really sad. It's really, really sad, and it's, in my mind, a nightmare. I mean, to go your whole life learning things, and, we spend a lot of time gaining knowledge in life, right? And then to just not even know who your spouse's name is, or your friends, or your kids. I mean, it's really, really, it's actually, I think it's diabolical that we live in a realm where people get dementia. But again, don't get dementia. Do things. Get ahead of it. Walk, stretch, lift. I'm not going to go into all the stats here, but obviously helps with mortality, cardiovascular disease, body fat, blood sugar, HbA1c, bone density loss. Huge, right? Lifting places mechanical stress on bones, reducing the risk of osteoporosis and subsequent fractures. And then all kinds of age-related muscle loss, which leads to people falling. I talk to people almost every other day that are falling. They're falling in their kitchens. They're falling in their bathrooms. They're falling in the yard. I remember a few years ago, I was at a all-you-can-eat pizza buffet, and the senior citizen literally fell at the buffet on the floor and hit his head really hard on the floor, and it was really sad and scary. So try to limit your suffering in life as much as possible, and these are some key ways to not only feel better about yourself and gain confidence in yourself, build your mental strength, but alleviate future suffering. That's the video.